What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Podcast, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. My name's Jonathan. Joining me today, as always, Senior Draft Coordinator here at Masters Fantasy, the Doc, Ryan Milletti. What's up, man?
Not much, commish. Just another day thinking about fantasy football.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm starting to get excited already for my 2022 Dynasty Leagues. Since I brought that up too, wanted to pass it along to the Masters customers. Next week we'll be starting to roll those leagues over early next week. So keep an eye out for your invite to your 2022 leagues. Super excited about that. MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com, in case you didn't know, over 700 dynasty leagues. We've never folded a single one. So definitely check us out. Take a look in the description. I got a link to the homepage, link to the Dynasty Orphanage. Every year some teams get put up for sale. Really good way to jump into one of our dynasty leagues as the previous owners paid your deposit. So just pass that along. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button. If you haven't done it any other day, do it today, man. It's my birthday. Turning 45 today.
Hey.
Man, no sleep here, man. I don't care if it's my birthday or not. I'm ready to talk dynasty football. That's what we do here. So appreciate it, guys. Let's roll, man. We're going to be talking the wide receiver position today, dynasty trade targets, early 2022. Doc, who do you got your eye on?
So I got my eye on somebody that was a rookie last year, and admittedly, I don't think he'll be easy to come by, but I think there's just so much, upper echelon talent at receiver that this guy kind of gets swept under the rug and forgotten about a little bit. And that is Jaylen Waddle. We talked about him a little bit on some recent shows, not in this capacity because he was in one of the big trades. He's just an excellent player. I think we saw that in his rookie season, an incredible campaign. Obviously, he has the chemistry with Tua. But I will say this is the thing that I want the most about Jaylen Waddle. For one, we've talked about before how he was supposed to be such a great receiver coming into the league. He kind of showed it last year, but still doesn't quite get the talk because, guys like Jamar Chase are out there doing what they're doing. So it makes it, a little difficult to talk about what Waddle did. But again, an excellent season. He's got that chemistry with Tua. The big thing, though, new head coach Mike McDaniel is what really sets me off. And anybody that's heard him, he did an interview recently and kind of hinted that they might use Jaylen Waddle in like a Deebo Samuel kind of role. And anyone that saw Deebo last year, no one really knew where it was coming from, but he was getting carries, sweeps, all kinds of targets. Just usage through the roof. I think Waddle's going to get similar treatment. McDaniel wasn't, he didn't waste any time saying he was going to use Waddle, early and often in his tenure in Miami. So it's a guy, again, I don't think he's going to be easy to get, but I do want my dog squeaking, if you could hear that.
I'm surprised my dogs aren't reacting to it. They're being good for a change over here.
So. But yes, so I think, I think him just kind of hinting at that right away is a big sign for me because he's already going to be targeted a bit by Tua. I think we saw that, but I think Tua's development will be helped by this hire. And overall, Waddle, I think, is just going to explode next year, like top 5, maybe even top 3 wide receiver season next year when, you look at a list of dynasty receivers, as good and as young as he is, he's like 10th, 12th, in that range. He's not even really cracking the top 10. So, I think he's more gettable than a lot of good receivers. And, then you've got receiver locked up for the most part for the foreseeable future with a guy like him. So he's the guy I'm going to get. Again, I don't know that it'll be easy, but I think now's probably the cheapest he'll ever be. So I'm shelling it out. If I don't have him, I want to go get him.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, man. I love the take. He's a guy that in my head, I actually was thinking about doing another show with Waddle and using him as an affordable dynasty building block. And I don't think that a lot of guys are, I know Waddle's hot. I don't think guys are looking at him as the type of, a Jonathan Taylor, a Jamar Chase, a potential building block for your roster, for the next decade. But don't sleep on what this guy did last year because of what we've seen out of Jamar Chase, because of what we've seen out of Justin Jefferson the last couple of years. 99 catches, 988 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, dude just flat out balled last year. And I think, this is a guy that could do this for the next 10 years. All right, so a couple questions I wanted to ask you about that, Doc. I also seen that he endorsed Tua, it looks like, as his quarterback too, the new head coach. Any concern there? You feel good about that connection?
I feel good-ish about it. I do think he kind of offers a little more stability. Tua had a lot of turnover at either quarterback coach or offensive coordinator, one or the other. So obviously I don't like that. So there should be some stability here. I think, as if you've seen, Jimmy G even looks good in their offenses, and realistically, he's not that good a quarterback. But I mean, I feel like guys like McDaniel, as well as like Shanahan and guys like that, really try to use their guys to their strengths. So I think he's gonna, design an offense around Tua. And I think honestly, like, Tua is a really good buy low too. I mean, just kick the tires on him because his value is very, very low, but he wasn't even really that bad last year when he was on the field.
Yeah, and I keep hearing what
from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, and I keep hearing, the Deebo Samuel, comparison, or maybe how they're going to use them this upcoming year. Man, that gets me really excited. And I got to go back to even a year ago today. I think, obviously Waddle's a lot more valuable now than what Deebo Samuel was a year ago today.
Right.
And I mean, we all seen the type of year he had. I mean, Deebo, almost like a top 5 wide receiver dynasty asset right now.
Oh yeah.
So that news really exciting. I mean, just imagine, I've given you his stats. Waddle finished, I think it was 13 last year at the wide receiver position, something like real close to the top
like
10.
Yeah.
So, add a little bit of, some other elements to his game. I mean, top 5 potential. I'm with you all day, Doc. Love the take. Last question I wanted to bring up, with the 2022 Dynasty, leagues rolling in, guys are going to have those 2023 first round picks on their roster available to trade. Any ideas what you'd be willing to pay? And I'll toss one thing out there that came to mind, and that would have been taking one of the young wide receivers last year, maybe that outperformed, expectations. A guy that comes to mind is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Maybe this is something I would consider doing. Ask you, Doc. Package like an Amon-Ra, maybe a Kadarius Toney, in your first round pick, and go after Waddle. Would you pull that trigger?
If I was going to get Waddle, yeah, absolutely. I'd be doing things very similar to that. I will say it's kind of tough this year too, because it seems like the most valuable assets in this draft are receivers.
Yeah.
But I actually do think that kind of makes them a little easier to get too, because you can kind of throw a few picks out there and they could say, well, I could get a couple of these guys. So it's really just kind of what you like, who you like there. But I got to say, I don't know that there's really any Waddles in this draft. There's a lot of really good receivers, but I feel like he might just be a notch above. And, with the opportunity to get that kind of Deebo usage in an offense where he was already getting targeted quite a bit, I mean, I think that's kind of hard to pass up on.
Yeah, I like it too. And just sitting there thinking, if you offer the, 1.5, whatever pick it is, with like an Amon-Ra, the guy's looking at it, hey, I'm going to get a Amon-Ra, maybe a Garrett Wilson too,
right?
Someone like that. All of a sudden, kind of like a 2-for-1, they might be thinking on a rebuilding team. For me, though, looking at a Waddle, the guy, like I said, dynasty building block potential. The other guys, I'm not, I don't think anybody, I'm not looking at Amon-Ra as a building block currently, although he had a great season, or a Wilson. But Waddle, I am for sure, man. I'm with you, Doc. Good stuff. As always, Doc, good stuff, man. Hey, like I said, if you guys could at home, hit the like and subscribe button. Love for you to come be a part of the Masters family. Any last words, Doc?
Thanks for watching, folks.
All right. I was going to ask you to do the Waddle, but I won't, man. Hopefully, there you go. Love it. I expect to see more of that, guys. Good stuff.